at it again tonight in San Francisco. Gio Gonzalez and Jake Peavy match up on a Saturday night at sold-out AT Park. A perfect baseball Saturday night in San Francisco, 24 Willie Mays Plaza, right on King Street here in the China Basin section of San Fran. And hopefully for the Nats, a little San Francisco treat on a Saturday night if Gio can do what he did in LA, shut down the Dodgers Monday, and why not another one here tonight, because the Nats need him badly.
Yeah, he's been nails his last 8 starts. 5-0 with a 1.48 ERA. He was great against the Giants last time out on July 3rd at Nats Park. His fastball, curveball, changeup combination has been outstanding. I still think Jose Lobaton the key, but effectively wild, throwing balls when he wants to, throwing strikes when he needs to. And the start against the Dodgers, arguably his best start of the year. 8 shutout innings. That was on the 10th against LA. 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, 117 pitches in the Nats' 83 win. And yeah, a little hug from your catcher. Why not? Gio Gonzalez has been lights out.
Last 8 times out, 5 decisions going his way, and a 1.48 ERA, and he always pitches against the West. Well, we talked about this Monday night, and it bears repeating here tonight. Now, the offense came alive a bit last night, not quite enough to make up a 6-1 deficit. Escobar's a cleanup guy tonight, and Matt Williams continues to shuffle that lineup.
And I think the big news is Jason Worth hitting 7th tonight. Matt Williams sliding him all the way down to the 7th spot. Michael Taylor leading off again. Yunel Escobar with a chance to drive in run. So hopefully the little shake-up of the lineup worked a little bit last night and works better tonight. I like it.
And you know who's going to bat third no matter what. Bryce Harper, and I mean deep here last night, finally made it to the 30 home run mark, and he went blasting by 70 RBIs and added 3 more. 8 for 15 against the Giants. 2 long balls, 6 RBIs for the 22-year-old so far. PNC Bank for the Achiever in you. Coit Tower, impressive skyline of San Francisco. What a beautiful city, what a beautiful ballpark. And the Nats will try to make things look a little better on this road trip tonight. They need one. It's a 1-4 trip right now. And the Nats have lost 7 of their last 8 road games. Time to take on the Giants and Jake Peavy, who pitched pretty well against them in the playoffs last year. We got some smoke in the distance because Sonoma Valley is on fire to the north of us. But it's a gorgeous night here along the base. 76 degrees, humidity down. Just a few clouds in the sky. Another picture-perfect baseball night in San Francisco. Clint Robinson is in the number 5 spot tonight with Escobar hitting cleanup. So 285 over his last 50 ball games. Had a couple of hits last night, and as we said, it seems like every time he's in the lineup, he at least has 1, maybe 2 hits. He's been very productive. On base 3 times in this series. And the Nats take on Jake Peavy, 13 career starts against the Montreal-Washington franchise. He's 4-6.
Yeah, took the loss last Sunday against the Cubs at Wrigley 2-0. Pitched well, though. 5 innings, giving up 2 runs, 4 hits, struck out 6 through 101 pitches in that game. And he's been good since he's come off the DL. You remember his first start off the DL was July 3rd against the Nats in D.C. Since then, he's 2-3 with a 2.74 ERA. So he's healthy. His ball's moving all over the place. He's been very effective for the Giants in their black jerseys tonight. So the defense for the Giants behind Peavy: Belt, Blanco, Pence the outfield, Crawford, Duffy left side, Tomlinson, Posey right side, and Hector Sanchez behind the plate because Buster Posey is playing a little Primera Base today.
Yeah, get him out of the crouch and give him some first base action. And that's also what put Brandon Belt out in left field. He's swinging a good bat. The umpires: Corey Blazer, 6th year in the big leagues. Crew chief Jeff Nelson at first base. There he is. Laz Diaz 2nd, and Chris Guccione at 3rd. The Nats are hitting .248, 6th in the league in runs, 4th in home runs. And I was watching Michael A. Taylor in batting practice today. On every pitch, he tried to take it up the middle or the other way. PV misses away, and we're underway at 10:07 Eastern Time. That ball is up and it's ripped out to center, but Gregor Blanco right there had a loud sound. 1 out to start the night.
Pretty good swing, got on top of this baseball, and I was actually shocked it didn't go further than it did. And that's what you have to do against Jake Peavy: elevate him. Something belt high or above and get on it. Good swing by Michael Taylor, nothing to show.
Anthony Rendon. He didn't start last night. He had a pinch hitting appearance in the 8th inning and still looking for his first base hit in this series. Facing Peavy for the first time, and that's on the edge. .35 hits in 35 games this year.
Well, you're hoping, at least Matt Williams hoping, that Anthony Rendon locks in. Because he's the kind of guy, a lot like Ryan Zimmerman, when he gets hot, he'll carry you for a while too.
0-2. Sanchez wanted that ball up. It's tailing toward the line, and pretty well hit, hauled in by Pence right at the edge of the track. So 2 well struck line drive outfield outs to start the game. Bryce Harper next, and boy, did he strike one last night.
He did. Home run number 30. And look at the numbers: 332, 30, and 73. 3 for 7. He gets Heat gloves playing in this ballpark, doesn't he?
He jumped from 7th to 5th in the RBI race. Part of the Nationals 30 home run club now.
American Standard, who's hot, who's not. Bryce Harper, first lefty to hit 30 home runs, age 22 or younger, since Boog Powell in 1964. How about that? And check out the note right below it.
Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star Sales Event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities. He joins Alfonso Soriano, Ryan Zimmerman, Adam Dunn, Michael Morse, and Adam LaRoche in the Nationals 30 home run club. 2-0 pitch. Bryce doesn't swing. It's not a strike. 3-0. And Yunel Escobar second on the team in hits to Bryce Harper in the cleanup spot tonight. '89 on the inner half. And with Bryce Harper leading the way this year, the Nats left-handed batters are hitting .282, 50 points higher than the right-handers. You, of course, see more right-handed pitching versus right-handed hitting. That's a pretty impressive number when you put Span and Harper and some of the switch hitters together. Clint Robinson. And that's a breaking ball that had kind of a thud to it. Bryce doesn't act like it hit him, but it was ball 4 anyway.
Yeah.
3-2 pitch. I'm glad it missed his toe.
I just love watching Jake Peavy pitch because he's so angry at the world when he takes the mound. I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher more vocal, more angry. I mean, he could definitely never be a good poker player because you know exactly how he's feeling after every bad pitch. Intense.
Been around a long time. First year in the big leagues. 0-2 with the Padres. Fastball running back, and Escobar took a big swipe at it. You know, Escobar 2 for 17 career against Peavy with 3 bases on balls. And by the way, Bryce Harper has now faced Peavy 7 times, and he's been on base 6 of those with 2 hits and 4 walks.
I don't think Jake Peavy is going to let Bryce Harper beat him tonight. He's been around too long.
They're in the 11th at New York. Pirates and Mets, another extra inning game tonight. Pittsburgh led 3-0 until the late innings. Mets tied it, and now they're still battling.
Citi Field is jumping.
1-1. Escobar out to right field. Hunter Pence misjudges it, and it goes way over his head. Bryce Harper will score. Escobar doubles him home for a first inning run.
Well, that's a thank you very much. Hunter Pence, usually a solid defender in right field. I don't know if he lost this ball or what, but he took a weird route. Like he knew exactly where it was going to end up. And watch, I got this. Oh, wait, whoops. And the Nats catch a first inning break. There goes the no-hitter. There goes the shutout, and Bryce Harper, who's always playing hard, busted it around third base for the first run of the night for the Nats. You know, a couple of balls hit right on the line for the Giants down the right field last night, and as a ball club, you start to think, and maybe you think the other way right there when you see a guy that's really good misjudge a ball. Things are going your way tonight.
The Nationals have now scored in the first inning of all 3 games here. And for Escobar, his 36th RBI. Bryce scores for the 79th time. Still the most in the league. On the edge.
I don't know if it played a factor. You'd have to ask Hunter Pence right now, Cart, but you know, you mentioned the fires today and the smoky sky. It's the exact color of a baseball, and I wonder if that got up in that and Pence lost it.
He acted like it was twilight time already.
You see this up here? I mean, it's the exact color of a baseball. If that ball got up and out of the stadium, he might have lost it.
I mean, usually we can clearly see the other side of the bay at this time of the night. And we can see the boats out there, but not Oakland.
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke in the air now. I'm wondering.
Robinson hanging in there. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Clint Robinson hitting .274 with an on-base percentage of .355. And Robinson takes one low and inside. Welcome to those of you who saw the Orioles walk off Oakland 4-3 with a run in the 9th. We are at AT Park in San Francisco. Bryce Harper drew a 2-out walk. Yunel Escobar hit a drive to right center that Hunter Pence misjudged, and the Nats lead 1-0. It's 3-2 on Clint Robinson. Jake Peavy for the Giants. And Robinson can't reach 92, tailing away. Nats get a gift. Their best starter lately, Gio Gonzalez, goes to work. Escobar delivered that 36th RBI. 2-out RBIs, so valuable. Giants lead the league in hitting at .271, 3rd in runs, 10th in home runs. And Matt Duffy, their rookie, he leads all rookies in hits, batting average, and total bases. And he had a perfect night last night in this series. 4 for 7. A homer, 4 RBIs, a walk, and a sac fly, which is abbreviated SF out here. Here's Gio.
And we see the Arsenal 92 with the fastball. That's the average for the entire season. Curveball 78, changeup 84. 22nd start for Gio, and the last one maybe his best start of the year. 8 shutout innings against the Dodgers on the 10th in LA. Gave up just 7 hits, struck out 8 Dodgers, and he threw 117 pitches in the Nats' 8-3 win. So he's got the only W on the West Coast trip so far. He's tried to make it 2 for the Nats here tonight.
Good to have a lefty against Gregor Blanco the way he's leading off for the Giants lately. 3 hits, 2 RBIs, 4 runs scored in this series. Gio low. Ninth career start against San Francisco. 3-2 with a 2.40 ERA. Counts even. Good fastball. Blanco at .294, 4-game hitting streak, and against Gio, career 1 for 3 with a pair of walks. Up in the zone, a little too high. 2-1. Season series, Nats still ahead 3-2 with San Fran. Joe Ross, Madison Bumgarner tomorrow before the day off in a 3-game series in Colorado. 2-2 pitch. Lobaton moves outside, and the fastball way out there. Full count to the first Giants hitter.
The first pitch in that pitch, Gio Gonzalez kind of hopped off the mound and looked back at his landing area. Maybe something to keep an eye on.
Blanco drives one that's tailing away from Jason Worth and out of play.
So the defense for the Nats behind Gio in game 3 of this series. Worth, Taylor, Harper the outfield, Desmond Escobar left side, Rendon Robinson right side, and Jose Lobaton. Gio Gonzalez, his personal catcher, it seems like, at least the last 8 or 9 starts. And there's the landing area in the cleat market, almost in the same place as Jake Beebe. Maybe that's the problem.
3-2, and this one playable to left. Jason Worth under a high fly ball. Long count, 1 out. Matt Duffy next. So no coincidence those last 8 starts have gone so well. With Jose Lobaton behind the plate. We told you about the 5-0 record, the great ERA.
Didn't drive him to the yard today, so they're on their own.
Yeah, Gio took the bus with the rest of us. Starters often do that. Whips the fastball in there on Duffy. Who's 4 for 7 in this series. 0 for 3 against Gio Gonzalez. And after losing the release point of the curveball, he came right back with it to get the edge on the Mercedes-Benz pitch track.
Well, watch how far this one comes back. I mean, this is in the left-handed batter's box. And it comes all the way back and catches the outside corner. Good frame by Lobaton.
And Gio outdueled PV for a 2-1 win Friday, July 3rd. A run on 5 hits in 7 innings. That's close but low, and another long count.
Well, Gio Gonzalez, efficient's probably the word you don't think of when you think of him, but you know, the Giants are really going to make him work here tonight. They're a team that's not afraid to go deep into counts.
Up the middle, and Gio right there to grab it. Now that's a good throw. He's had a few change-ups he's thrown over to first base recently. Clint Robinson handling the bag tonight, and 2 outs.
Oh, nice play by Gio Gonzalez. Ball hits pretty hard, stabs it, throws it to first, and a little fist pump on the throw.
I got one there on a fly.
It was great.
Brandon Belt was not in the lineup that night Gio faced the Giants, but he is tonight on a 6-game hitting streak. He's got some action on that curveball.
You know, knowing Gio since he played in Oakland and covering the A's when he was over there, and seeing the development from then to who he is now and watching the maturation process, you just know all the body language. And he's a lot like Jake Beebe. He's going to let you know exactly how he's feeling between every pitch. But there's frustrated Gio, there's overamped Gio, and there's relaxed Gio. In the last 8 or 9 starts, it's been more relaxed Gio than any other emotion I can think of that he's had on the mound.
3rd 3-ball count. And he jams the left-handed hitter in a high fly ball out to center. Ian Desmond out there. Michael A. Taylor. Seemed like Michael waited forever to make the call, but he got the grab at a 1-2-3, bottom of the 1st.
Communication is key. I'm going to show you Michael Taylor realizing that he had to make this play, and watch the communication at the very end. I want you to listen too. And you heard him say, "I got it," and you heard the crowd kind of swell and get louder as they saw him coming together. That's why communication is so important. Michael Taylor realizing that he had to take charge, and they talk about it on the way in. Did you hear me? Did you hear me okay right there? Yeah, I heard you. That's why I peeled off. So good communication during, good communication after, and a nice play. I mean, those can be tricky, especially in this ballpark.
Yeah, and there seems to be something going on with fly balls tonight from the standpoint of guys clearly seeing them with some of the smoky air around the Bay Area. So here's Ian Desmond, top of the second. He got a slider, and look at this. See you later. To the top of the bleachers in left field.
Wow. Wow, the Nachos guy got it, but I don't know that I've ever seen one get all the way up to the concourse. Maybe in left field, but left center field? My goodness.
Number 15 for Desmond. And his 8th in his last 25 games. Roasted.
Holy moly. Look at Bryce Harper. He's got his hands on his cheeks. Did you see that? Oh.
And Worth levels off and singles to right field. Actually, right center. Pence playing way off the line. And I'll tell you, Jake Peavy is not fooling anybody in the Nats lineup so far.
No, they've had some good swings. Bryce still in shock. Like that kid we showed back at Nats Park when Ian Desmond made the play at shortstop. And I'm right there with Bryce. Please get me a distance on that. Seen a lot of home runs in this ballpark, Carp. I don't see that. I know that I've seen too many get all the way up to the walkway above the bleachers in left center, maybe in left field if you pull it. Look at Bryce Harper.
Fartator, Bryce, see what you've got. Here's Lobatone, and that's ball 1. So the Nats lead 2-0.
Is that Macaulay Culkin from
Home
Alone?
Yeah, it did.
Good stuff.
Bryce looked like
that ball was hit a ton.
Lobatone 1 for 4 when he got a start last night.
And by the way, lost in the shuffle right there. Jason Worth with a nice swing to right field. It's the first time he's hit 7th as a National. He's hit 6th before, never 7th. And he got a base hit, so maybe that's the start of something good for him.
Yeah, a lot of guys go up after a home run thinking they'll see first pitch heater in the zone. Took it the other way perfectly. 1-1 to Lobatone. He goes the other way, but it's cut off by Duffy. And a long run by Tomlinson to get to the bag. And he had a hard time stopping his feet past the bag.
But another hard hit ball by a Nationals hitter.
So they were shifted, and that was Crawford, the shortstop over there.
Well, a pretty hard hit ball to Duffy, but that was actually Tomlinson that came sprinting over and made the double play turn. On the run, knew he had some time. Pretty good swing by Lobatone, nothing to show. Pretty good swing by Gio.
Bases empty, 2 outs, and Gio 2 for 29, couple of RBIs. 1 for 3 against Peavy. That didn't happen in the July 3rd game. It had happened earlier in their meetings. And he's going to level off and hit one into center. So the Nationals go 4 for 8 with a walk. Their first time through the lineup. Hey, Gio's a 100 hitter this year. Little elbow bump.
Yeah, don't leave me hanging. Watch Gio Gonzalez looking at the dugout after the hit. Base hit. Pat died a hero, I believe. Just a little peek in there. Nice swing. Line is moving.
Michael A. Taylor lined out hard to center to start the game. Tries to bunt for a hit. Lays it down. He's got a hit. Took Hector Sanchez a moment to react. And Peavy had a long way to go. You know, if Michael A does that a couple of times a week, he could really add on to that batting average.
Well, nice bunt. I mean, you just a little Bellata action right here with the Pro V1X. Watch it just stop. Perfect bunt by Taylor. And put it in your pocket and replace your divot. I don't think Jake Peavy was too happy right here. Lack of communication. So we just saw good communication between Ian Desmond and Michael Taylor. Not so much right there.
Now the Nats are 5 out of 9 with a walk to start the game. Rendon lined out hard to Pence. Lays off the slider low and away.
Is that bothering anybody else?
Ground crew will take care of that probably in between half innings.
That divot right above the Masson logo, is that bothering you? I would try to bunt one right into it. Let's see if you could get a hole in one.
Load him up for Bryce. And Peavy now might be loading him up for Bryce. He's gone 2-0. 20 pitches first inning. The Hunter Pence misjudged line drive cost him a handful of pitches in that frame. And now he's thrown a whole lot more here. He's up to 31. Runs the fastball back to the corner. It was above belt high. Fastball. Good swing. Little late. Counts even 2-2. They're in the 12th at New York. Pirates Mets still tied. Ooh, that's close. Oh, foul tip, and he's out. Evidently, the ball hit Anthony Rendon's bat, and Matt Williams wants to know what's going on with that. Corey Blazer on the call, and he walks right over to the Nats manager.
He said, "We can check that, right?" And yes, you can.
Well, Corey Blazer must have heard a couple of sounds, something before the ball went into the mitt of Hector Sanchez.
I thought I heard two sounds too, but Matt Williams wants to check it, and we'll check it right now. And Anthony Rendon didn't argue, and you see the redirect. And Hector Sanchez even framed the foul tip on top of it just to make sure.
Considered a swinging strikeout. So the Nats come up big. Ian Desmond just slapping one way out of here. I'm just going to guess right now. I'm going to say 108 on that speed.
I'm going to say 790 feet. Who cares how fast it was?
Maybe we're both right.
coverage here on the Nats Saturday, August 22nd, 7:05 start. They continue their series against the Brewers. The first 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a Nationals Charger presented by United Airlines. Visit nationals.com to purchase your ticket today.
So Gio with double lead to work with, and he takes on Buster Posey. Only run Gio gave up back on July 3rd. Buster led off the 7th with a home run to left center at Nationals Park. And he'll top that one over to the left side, 1-1.
You know, you get through this West Coast trip around 500 or close to 500, figure out a way to do that. Then the schedule, you get home, you play the Brewers 3, you play the Padres 3, you play the Marlins 3. And the schedule favorable, Carp, like you said, 16 of 19 games at home.
Escobar waiting for that one. Extra crow hop. Right on target, 4 straight.
And then you play 3 in St. Louis. That'll be a good series. Then you come back home and you play the Braves, 4. Big series against the Mets. And then the Marlins and the Phillies and the Marlins. So, yeah, the schedule starts to ease up a little bit for the Nats. So if they start to hit, start to figure things out, even though the Mets schedule is very similar, you know, it's all you want to do is stay around, because you got 6 games left with the New York Mets, and there's such a long way to go in this that I still don't think it's time to panic for everybody at home. Not even close. Too much baseball left. But and they'll be the first ones to tell you that they got to figure it out and start playing a little bit better, and I think they will.
Ryan Zimmerman gets a night off. Wilson Ramos with Gio pitching. This one to the right of Anthony Rendon, and he'll just take that sidearm flip. So Gio quickly disposing of 2 hitters here in the second.
It's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo using hashtag NatsCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast that's brought to you by T-Mobile. Nice shades. Attitudes in the front row. Good seats. I like it.
Brandon Crawford, 2 for 8 in the series. And against Gio career, 2 for 9. Having a big year from the power standpoint. 19 home runs, 71 RBIs, 7th most in the National League. On an 8-game hitting streak with 9 hits.
It'll be a huge game. Is that September 28th makeup game against the Reds?
It is now, yeah.
I've never been a schedule peeker. I really don't look at it. You know, from as a player, you just day to day, win a game today. But right now, the way things are shaping up with these 2 ball clubs and coming down the stretch, you'd be silly not to look at it and start to think of things like they can do this. Way stranger things have happened.
That's a crackling fastball at 92. 2-1. But the Nats are way behind in the wild card race now, so they've got to overtake the Mets, just so you're not depending on 5 different things to happen on the last weekend of the season, which will be spent at Citi Field, by the way.
As a player, all you can do is take care of today. That's for us to look at the schedule and try to figure that whole thing out.
Kind of an interesting thing this year. All games on the last day of the season start at the same time at 3 p.m. Eastern. Big curveball. Gio Gonzalez, 6 in a row to start the game. First strikeout. Rice has already scored after a walk. Here come the Nats. Top of the 3rd.
Time later in tonight's game. That's brought to you by Miller Lite.
Good night for the offense so far. A lot of line drives. A long home run by Ian Desmond. And the Nats lead 2-0. For the Achiever in you, PNC Bank with a minor league report. And we check in again on Austin Voth, who's 23 years of age. The right-hander leads the Eastern League in strikeouts. That's considered a good pitcher's league. He's out of the University of Washington. 6'2", 210. Just had his 23rd birthday last month. Looking good. As is a lot of the young Nats pitching. Lucas Giolito, another fantastic outing last night. Second time around, and here's Bryce. They won't shift on him, but they'll play him to pull. Took a base on balls from Peavy first time up.
I was watching a show the other day, and they were saying there's just a few teams that won't get into the shift, and they just don't realize it. The Cardinals, the Giants, and somebody else. And he said, okay. One team has won 3 of the last 5 World Series. The other team is 900 games over 500. So maybe they've figured something out that a lot of teams haven't, that you shade and don't shift. Yeah, that guy kind of knows what he's doing.
Yep. And this is the so-called bad odd year for the Giants.
I think the other team,
but they're in the hunt.
I think the other team might have been the Nationals.
2-0. Harper gashes one to right. Hunter Pence over to grab it. Any elevation at all, and that ball's in the bay. Jake Peavy continues to give up hard hit balls.
This ball's just crushed. And look at the balance after the swing. Always the key for me in watching Bryce Harper hit. When he's standing there like he didn't even swing after that violent swing, his balance is perfect and his timing's right.
Escobar double over Hunter Pence in the right center gap first time up. He'll go straight away this time. Blanco has to come in. Looked like it got him down around the end of the barrel. And for Peavy, 2 quick outs in the third with Clint Robinson next. Things happening quickly in this game. Robinson struck out swinging with Escobar aboard to end the first. Peavy got him on a fastball away. Just like that one. 2 miles an hour quicker first time around. Sanchez wanted the ball up. That's where he got it. Gives Peavy a chance for his first quick inning. Target in. Well, hard to believe Clint Robinson could get any bat on that ball. Right in on his hands. And he's doing a good job to stay alive here. But I hadn't checked Clint's on-base percentage in a while. Looking at the stats before the game. .355 coming in. Now he's got a good AB going here. 3-2. And Peavy tried to get him on that same pitch, a little softer, that ended the first inning. And what a great at bat by Clint.
I'll tell you, Clint Robinson's right up there with Bryce Harper and Jason Worth for knowledge of the strike zone. I mean, he's really spitting on some close pitches. Always knows a ball from a ball and strike from a strike. And Jake Peavy's just a little frustrated.
Think Ian Desmond sees a slider here?
You think Jake
better be off the plate if he does, huh?
Jake Peavy seeing red right now?
He goes first pitch slight piece, but he does miss away. So Desmond now 2 for 6 in the series, on base 4 times.
That first one he hit should count for 2 homers. It really should.
106 career homers. And he rips another one to left, but he hit it so well it stayed up, but Brandon Belt muffs it. Robinson chugging to third, and Desmond into second. And the Giants are having outfield defense issues tonight.
Well, he compounded the mistake by throwing it to third base. Once you drop a baseball with 2 outs, there's no read for the runner. You throw it into second base, and Ian Desmond, very heads up right here, goes into second base. That's going to happen as an outfielder. But Brandon Belt, normally a first baseman, panics and throws to third. That ball should have went to second base. It allowed another run to get into scoring position. Watching Ian Desmond, he stopped, he read the throw, he went to second. That's a good lesson for you kids. If you bobble a ball in the outfield, don't worry about the lead runner. That's off. Go to second base, keep the double play in order if there's less than 2 outs, or keep that runner on first base and not in scoring position.
Giants made 3 infield errors last night. Came into the series with the second fewest errors in the league to the Dodgers. And now they've made 4 errors in 1 game plus 3 innings. And of course, Hunter Pence didn't get an error for that one in the first as the ball sailed over him. So here's Jason Worth, already with 1 good swing tonight, and a chance to really open up a big lead for Gio and the Nats. He was first pitch hunting last time. Hit it well to right center. On a pitch up, pop up, right side. Looking at it, Buster Posey. Nats will strand a couple. They've left 5 base runners, but lead, swinging well, 2-0. As we have, and G brings us the numbers since the 21st of June. A minimum of 45 innings pitched. Gio Gonzalez, 5th in baseball with a 1.48. Doing nothing to hurt that tonight. 29 pitches, 15 strikes, first 2 innings. 6 in a row, and he faces the rookie Kelby Tomlinson, the second baseman. Low and away. Tomlinson started the ball game Thursday night, had a triple his first time up, and he went 1 for 3. Rips one to right center here. He's going to get at least 2 bags out of that. Taylor does get over to cut it off. He's going for 3, and Rendon's throw is a little bit late. Triples alley indeed out there to right center.
Well, I thought initially he made a mistake trying to go for 3. You know, down by a couple of runs, a leadoff double works. And I'm thinking right here, Michael Taylor has the ball, and he's just getting to second base. The reason he made it to third is the throw is a little bit high. Rendon had to jump, and that was the extra steps that Tomlinson needed to get into third. He's a plus runner, but based on when Taylor got the ball and where he was, I thought going for third was a mistake. He proved me wrong.
Here's Hector Sanchez. Nats do not have the infield in with a 2-run lead, and it's early. Sanchez, a 163 hitter, 8 hits and 49 at-bats this year. Busted bat. Counts even, 1-1.
And you remember last time Gio Gonzalez was on this mound was in the playoffs. And he had that deciding game against the Giants, and sometimes as a pitcher you think of old memories. But tonight he's been great. Minus that triple right there, and that wasn't even a bad pitch. He just beat a good pitch.
Well, Sanchez and then the pitcher here. Goes with the curveball, and it comes inside, 2-1. Hector Sanchez, 25 years of age, backup catcher for the Giants last couple of years. Andrew Susac is on the DL right now, one of their other backup guys to Buster Posey. 3-1. Changeup.
I mean, if you're Gio right now, it's hard to think on the fly. You're going so fast, the game's moving fast. Your offense could get you some more runs tonight, it would seem like, right? Based on PV missing his location, there's been some great at-bats. So just get an out right here. If he hits a sac fly and it's 2-1, okay. But the last thing you want to do is put another runner on, so let him ground out the short. Get the out. Make it a 2-1 game. You'll take the strikeout, but you don't want to let him get on.
Yeah, because then PV could bunt him to second base. 3-2. And he lost the release on that curveball, and it never had a chance to get back. So first and third, nobody out. Jake Peavy can handle the bat. 3 hits, 3 sacrifices this year. Might not sound like a lot, but he's only been around for 9 starts before tonight. He has 49 career sacrifice bunts.
Jake Peavy is probably the nicest guy in the world, but when I see him in a baseball uniform, he just scares me. Just looking at him, he just scares me.
Now keep in mind, it's a catcher running at first, just in case he doesn't make a perfect bunt, and you have the added element of Tomlinson at third. So a lot of things can happen here. Fastball misses away.
So this is a perfect situation, and I've had so many discussions. If you bunt it to third, now as the runner on third, the third baseman comes in, you follow him down. If he throws a cross, you walk home. It's the greatest play in baseball that you never see, and it's really indefensible unless the shortstop comes over and covers third base, which they never do. But first and third, one out, make the third baseman field it. As a runner, follow him down. If he looks you back, you walk back to third. If he throws across, you walk home.
Right in there. Nice low pitch. Looked like a good one for Peavy to bunt, but he made no attempt.
He could sit there and talk to baseball people about this play, and really the only thing you can do is have your pitcher bolt to third base as quick as he can. But that never happens. Shortstop never goes back door, and it's an easy run.
And Peavy takes a stab at it and fouls it.
And it's a good play for you younger coaches to think about, too. First and third, nobody out. Bunt it to the third baseman, and then just the runner trail him. If he looks you back, you got bases loaded, nobody out. If he throws across to first, you're so far down the line, you take 5 or 6 steps and you're home. It's a great play.
Throws him a nasty hook. Corey Blazer thought about it for a moment, and it's ball 2.
Pretty good pitch.
Target in. And he swings it. He fouls it. Peavy, by the way, a 165 career hitter. '78 career hits, 2 homers, 27 RBIs, so he can hack. Gonna swing again. That curveball came way inside.
He tried to let that hit him. Did you see his back leg? He tried to throw his left knee into it, or his right knee, excuse me, into it as the ball crossed.
2-0 Nationals, fighting to keep it that way here in the third. He walked it, and the bases are loaded.
It's usually Steve McCatty time. Let's see.
So Gio walked a catcher with 8 hits all year.
Here he comes.
Then he walked the opposing pitcher. Steve McCatty will try to settle things down here with a good contact man, Gregor Blanco, coming up.
That's about to get real loud in this ballpark.
They are in the 14th at New York, and the Pirates just scored 4-3 over the Mets. 8 o'clock here, 11 o'clock for all of you back home. We appreciate your loyalty and your endurance staying up with us all week long from the West Coast. 3 in LA. And Steve McCatty has been thrown out of the game. And Matt Williams will come out. McCatty had words for Corey Blazer halfway to the baseline, and he got tossed.
And maybe Blazer rushing Steve McCatty off the mound. And I think you could all understand what he just said right there and his sentiment about the whole situation. I'll tell you this. Corey Blazer had a short fuse, whatever it was, and we'll all take a look at it again.
Hey, that was fairly confrontational by the home plate umpire.
I just don't know what was said. Hard to say. Maybe Steve McCatty said the magic word. Maybe he didn't. Maybe Corey Blazer had a bad day. Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Bases loaded, nobody out. And here's Gregor Blanco. Hit a fly ball to Jason Worth. First time up.
I do know that whatever Steve McCatty said, he was looking toward his own dugout and not Blazer.
That's up the middle. It'll score 1 run. The other runners had to hold up to make sure it got through. And the Giants are back to 2-1. That's Blanco's third RBI of this series on his fourth hit.
Gio Gonzalez talking to himself, trying to figure out a way to control the damage here in the third inning. You see him say, let's go. Come on, let's go. I got this. I like it.
And to keep in mind, there's a runner at third who's a catcher and a runner at second who's a pitcher. If you get a chance for double play here, it might not be the traditional way. Oh boy, that curveball's all over the place right now. After the Tomlinson double or triple, and he just scored, Sanchez walked, and then PV walked after trying to bunt, and then Blanco, the first pitch, RBI hit. That ball is rocked into the left field corner, and it's going to score at least 2, and now 3. All the way from first is Blanco. Matt Duffy, RBI totals up to 58 as the rookie hurts the Nats big time.
Well, you're just trying to control the damage, and Duffy swung at that curveball like he knew it was coming. I mean, he didn't get fooled a bit, stayed back, must have been sitting on it. Drilled it in the corner, and every third base coach of the Giants dugout was sending all the runners a bases clearing double for the Giants third baseman, making this 4-2 in a heartbeat.
Still nobody out. Number 3 hitter Brandon Belt, strike 1. He had a fly ball to Taylor first time. Pirates have added another run in the 14th at New York. And the Nats have lost a 2-0 lead here. Oh, 2. Took the fastball upstairs.
I mean, still 4-2 ball game. Not a huge deal if you can keep it at 4-2. You feel like the Nats are going to score some more runs in this one. You just have that feeling. I feel like if Gio can start that curveball, then when he throws right at left-hander, sometimes behind him and brings it back, he's got a chance to get Belt.
Two. 23 pitches in this inning.
Is this a no sign trip or a change up the signs trip? Gio Gonzalez saw something he didn't like going on behind him. Probably changed him up. He might be thinking, like I was thinking up here, that Matt Duffy knew it was coming. I mean, if you look at his swing on that curveball, Carp, usually when a guy hits a curveball, they stride, they keep their hands back, and they still hit it good. Matt Duffy did not get fooled a bit. He was on that curveball like he was looking for it. And whether he knew what was coming from whoever was on second or not, he sure looked like he did.
2-2 pitch again. And that's up the middle from Brandon Belt. They're going to send the runner. Taylor launches one home over the catcher. And Belt goes to second. And the Giants lead 5-2.
Well, Michael Taylor had to stay back on this ball. I know what he's thinking. You know, someone's got to stop the bleeding here. This is an aggressive mistake by a young player, but it was from a good place. You know, guys running around everywhere as an outfielder. You finally get a chance to throw somebody out and stop this thing. That's why he launched that ball. Didn't have his rhythm because he had to stay back and tried to do too much. And that allowed Belt to get the second.
Here's Buster Posey with nobody out. You saw Tanner Roark exit the dugout, head for the bullpen. Four hits, 2 walks in the inning. Posey bouncing ball to Escobar, first time up. Into the Nationals dugout. Everybody okay? Hit the back wall.
Wilson Ramos telling Buster Posey that way. I think that had Rick Shue's name on it. Maybe Bob Hemley. He's got a helmet. Yeah, I think it was Hemley. And these dugouts are closer than any dugouts in baseball. You're almost in fair territory here. They're so close.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Gio Gonzalez is convinced that the Giants are doing some funny business behind him on second base. Keeps stepping off and looking at the runner. And that's not because he thinks Brandon Belt is going to steal.
One, 2 the count to Posey. Curveball, one hopper, Escobar. Good backhand grab. Right on target to Robinson for a big first out.
Nice play.
And of course keeping the runner at second base.
Hey, you know, you don't want to make too much of it, but you're watching Gio Gonzalez look back at the base runner on second base longer than he normally does. Great play by Yunel Escobar to rob Buster Posey, but you know, here he is calling Jose Lobaton out again and maybe changing up the signs. Well, watch Brandon Belt right here. Maybe you get an idea what I'm talking about. Watch his right hand. You see him flash his right hand down below his knee right before the pitch. So, yeah, there's some funny business going on at second base, and that's why Gio Gonzalez is looking so long, changing up signs. And it all goes back to that Matt Duffy curveball that he sat on.
Yeah.
He thinks the relaying pitches, and he might be right based on what we just showed you. I've seen, Carp, a lot of different ways to do it. I've never seen anything that obvious. Look at him, look at him. He's just looking at the runner. That's not to keep Belt close.
And a ball ripped to left. Jason Worth grabs it off the shoe tops for the second out.
I mean, you can always let one go if you think that's going on. That's a way to stop that.
Haven't pitchers been known to walk toward the runner and say, you're going to get one of your teammates hurt?
Had that happen. My standard response was, if I'm relaying signs, you wouldn't know it. Because I'm not going to be obvious about it, and you're going to have no idea what I'm doing.
Ninth hitter is Brandon Crawford. And a big curveball is outside. So Gio's battled back to retire 2 in a row thanks to his defense. Just occurred to me that the way things are handled these days, if you said that to a runner, the second base umpire would hear it, and if you hit a batter, you could be thrown out for intent. Those things are handled a little differently these days. 2-0 pitch, and the fastball just misses. Ball 3. Gio struck out Brandon Crawford first time up, ending the second inning. And that is hit hard to center. Belt coming around. Taylor, strong throw, and safe is the call. Perfect one-hop throw from Michael A. Taylor. They're having a look in the clubhouse.
Yeah, great throw by Taylor, and did his foot get in there? We'll look at it together real time here. Good throw by Taylor. Good low throw, so he made the adjustment, and it looked like Belt's foot did get in there. Let's see it again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now it looks like Gio's done. He faces 9 batters in the third inning, retires 2 of them after a perfect first 2 innings, and it is unbelievable how this game has turned around. Here comes Tanner Roark. And 9 men to the plate in the third inning. They have scored 6 times, and now Tanner Roark will try to put out this San Francisco fire.
Yeah, fastball's been up to 95 for Roark this year. Curveball, slider change to go with it. Hey, look, if you're relaying signs or relaying pitches from second base, you still have to hit them. And all it does is kind of give you an idea of where the pitch is coming. Most guys aren't on second base long enough to figure out. But if word does spread through a dugout that, hey, they're using second sign on second base, now everybody knows. If you have a lot of base runners, that's what the Nats are using. And maybe even watch video of a previous start of a guy from the center field camera, and pitchers like to use the same signs. They like to be comfortable in the heat of battle. So if you're always using the same sequence on second base, you look at the video, you say, hey, when so-and-so pitches, he uses third sign, or first sign after 2, or first sign after 1, or last sign. So as a hitter, you know when you get on second base, you go on second, you confirm that what you saw on the video is right, and you tell everybody in the dugout. I don't know if that's what's happening, but we did show Brandon Belt with his hand down by his knee, which is something I've never seen at the major league level, with a guy flashing his hand outside his leg. That's pretty obvious.
Tomlinson started all of this with the opposite field triple. Will lead off this inning. And Roark misses way inside again. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jammed him well. 2 balls, 2 strikes. One piece of good news we can pass along. Pirates won that game in New York 5-3. 14 innings. Two pitch. Slider outside.
I'll tell you what, based on PV's stuff tonight and the swings they're taking, this game's not over. The only reason it could possibly be over is if you're standing on defense and you have the here we go again mentality going, but I don't think they do. So much baseball to be played. It's only the 3rd inning.
To the hole. Backhand Desmond. Strong throw. And Clint Robinson stayed on the bag for a good play. Giants drop a 6 on Gio and the Nats. First Nats Brewers. First 15,000 fans in attendance. 21 and up. Receive a Nats cap presented by Miller Lite. Drew Storen wants you to call 202-675-NATS or log on to nationals.com to get your tickets. Nats Brewers. Tonight, Nats Giants, top of the fourth. Jose Lobaton leads off and Tanner Roark is in the on-deck circle. Lobaton, first time up, hit a ball rather sharply to the left side, but on the shift with two men aboard, it turned into a 6-4-3 double play. That was a big play because Gio would have a hit in the inning and Michael A. Taylor would bunt for a hit later in the inning. And Lobaton hits one high in the air, right center. Hunter Pence. Next 5 ball games. Tomorrow's finale here. Joe Ross will have to be good because the Nats are facing Madison Bumgarner, although he's only 2-5 career, including postseason against the Nats. Day off Monday, 3 in Colorado, all night games, and back against the Brewers for the ball cap giveaway Friday night. PV now with the lead, just brings the fastball in there. Tanner Roark, 4 hits on the year and 19 at bats. Then he rips one. In between hop, it came up on Crawford. Tanner hustling, and they just did throw him out. What a good effort by Tanner Roark. And a hot shot handled by Crawford.
Matt Williams wants to take a look at it. Randy Knorr on the phone. Did his foot stay on the base? I think that's what they looked at. They saw it, and here we go.
There's Michael A. Taylor now, who has lined out hard to center, bunted for a base hit, and has made 2 strong throws to the plate tonight. And the other thing is, it's the 4th inning. You don't have to hit a home run for 3 runs every time. Nats need to chip away, keep getting some hits. They had 4 hits in that 2nd inning. And Taylor high in the air down by the Nats bullpen. Hunter Pence is getting there. And he's got the one-handed grab, and that's it for Washington in the top of the 4th inning. Giants right back into the batter's box.
Nats Couch Cam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast that's brought to you by T-Mobile. William Reese. I wonder if there's any relation.
First pitch swinging, Hector Sanchez, the catcher. He's a switch hitting and catcher. First time up tonight, he walked. Boy, that was a crucial walk. And then the walk to Peavy really opened up that 6-run third. He really teed things up for the top of the order.
He'd have to be the great grandson of Peavy Reese, right?
Great Dodger. Jackie Robinson's mentor, and Pee Wee, as the story goes, probably the guy that kept Jackie from tearing some people's heads off with some of the abuse that he took. Pee Wee was always right there for him.
I don't know if I want a guy named Pee Wee as my bodyguard. I'm thinking a little bit bigger, maybe.
It would work pretty well. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two pitch. Roark nasty on the curve. 76 dropping straight down. He's retired the first 2, and Mercedes has it.
Well, you said it. 76 dropping straight down. Good pitch.
Jake Peavy now. Another capacity crowd here. 42,000 or so. Jake Peavy, after he walked, Steve McCatty ejected for the first time in his Nationals career. Good run back on the fastball to the outside edge. Finding the range and the location on that breaking ball.
You know, getting back to that, I mean, that's the pitching coach just made a lot of trips to a lot of mounds, and he knows what to say and what not to say, and where to look and where not to look. And maybe we can show it again here if we get a chance, but he was looking toward his own dugout, and like I said, I don't know what he said, I don't know what Blazer said. That's between those two guys, and maybe we'll find out tomorrow, maybe we won't, but the body language of the whole deal to me did not scream ejection.
Fastball up and in with some sizzle. 2 down.
I mean, might as well show you again, right? He's talking to Gio. Here comes Corey Blazer. Says something right here. You can see him shaking his head. He's kind of looking back toward him, but Blazer's saying something to him. So who knows what was said? But you know, just based on body language alone, that one's hard to figure out.
Top of the order, Gregor Blanco. He got the first RBI hit for the Giants after they loaded the bases last inning. This one hit straight away. Michael A. Taylor right there. Satana Roark calms things down with 4 consecutive outs. Rendon, Harper, Escobar coming up. University College, because Willie Mays, the Say Hey kid, was responsible for so many of them. 24 All-Star games, Rookie of the Year 51, two-time MVP. Look at that. They were 11 years apart. A dozen Gold Gloves, 660 the home run total, and the famous catch in the World Series against the Cleveland Indians. And Vic Wirtz.
Say hey. Always at the ballpark. Always in the Giants clubhouse. And one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Willie Mays. Sat me down my first week as an outfielder for the Giants and told me the wind currents at Candlestick Park while I was eating breakfast in the food room. He sat down and had breakfast with me. He said, hey, when it's hit to your left, it does this. When it's hit to your right, it does this. And it's all I was thinking the whole time is Willie Mays is having breakfast with me. I didn't hear a word he said. I mean, it was just, wait, Willie Mays is having breakfast with me. And he gave me some really good advice, but I didn't hear it because it's Willie Mays.
But you remember it now.
I do. I saw Juan Marshall today, too. And we were talking about that game he and Warren Spahn hooked horns. 16-inning game. Willie McCovey hit a home run the bottom of the 16th to win that game. And I said, Juan, how many pitches did you throw in that game? He said 227 pitches. 227.
Wow.
In that 16-inning game. And he said as long as that guy was going out to the mound, I was going out to the mound. And it was one of those things where they just kept looking at each other and they said, this is me and you against each other. 16 innings, 227 pitch win, 1-0. How about that?
That would be a lawsuit now.
There would be agents losing their minds.
Bryce Harper, a walk and a hard line out to right. And a hard base hit to right.
I'll tell you what.
Is he centering the ball right now or what? I think that knee's a little better than it was in L.A.
Yep.
Let's check in with Dan. He's got more on Bryce.
Bob, Bryce Harper hit that 30 home run mark last night, and that was a goal for him for sure. But he said when you're worried about 30, you're not worrying about 40. I want to get 40 or 50. Those are goals that he has left for himself, and he's got some time left to do it this season. He said it all falls under the umbrella of trying to help the team, and if he's putting up those types of numbers, he hopes he's helping the team to a lot of wins. But he's not done at 30. He has his eyes set on more.
You know, and I find that refreshing that Bryce would say that, because so many guys, well, you know, just happy to be where I'm at. And, you know, some guys voice it, some guys feel it different ways, but I like the way Bryce is open about it, and he's not afraid to share what his goals are, but it always is within the context of the ball club.
Well, if you haven't learned that Bryce Harper is not afraid to say whatever,
but some players will not talk about numbers.
And I say that in a positive way because we want our athletes to be open, honest, and forthcoming, and when they are, they get crushed. By the way,
by Escobar.
Excuse me, Carb. If Hunter Pence charged that real hard, he had a chance to throw Bryce out at first because he hit it so hard.
Tell you, that second one went sizzling into his glove. Or the first line drive to right, his second at bat. One to Escobar. And Peavy getting a call that Gunell's not happy about.
Gunell animated right now. He didn't like it.
And I think pitch track will prove once again.
Yeah, he's still John. And he had every reason to, it looks like, based on what you see on pitch track.
Nissan on the pitch track. Ball 2 turns into strike 2. Now Peavy throws one outside that gets called. We might have something. He tried to go out there with the slider, but he missed by a good 6 inches or more. Top of the 5th inning, 1 on, 1 out. 6-2 ball game. The Nats have out hit the Giants 6-5. That hit by Harper, though, their first since the 2nd inning. Slider, shortstop, 6-4-3. Nationals are gone. They've hit into 2 damaging double plays tonight.
Start. They open a 3-game set with the Padres. First 25,000 fans, you receive an Anthony Rendon Garden Gnome. Check out hashtag RenditGnome on the Nationals Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat to follow his adventures on the West Coast trip. Visit Nationals.com to purchase your tickets today.
Tanner Roark has retired 4 in a row on 17 pitches. And he faces Matt Duffy, who's 1 for 2 against him this year. He's got some good run on the fastball, and he's locating the slider. He's hit a couple of nasty curves. 1 ball, 1 strike. Once again tonight, only other game right now is the Dodgers Reds, and they're in the top of the 8th. LA 8, Cincinnati 3. Everything else final other than that and this one. Toronto fell to the Yankees again today. Boy, uncertain swing. Look at the run on that 94. Third strikeout of the last 4 hitters for Tanner Roark.
Man, we talk about Tanner Roark, and his success last year was all based off of this pitch. The fastball that he would start in on lefties and run back, or start away from righties and run back. And there's been times this year where he hasn't had that pitch, but that's his go-to. He definitely has it here tonight, and he's had it recently. Good pitch.
Brandon Belt, 2 for 3 career against Tanner, with a single and a double. Tonight, 1 for 2 with an RBI hit. He drove in the 5th run back in that 3rd inning. Buster Posey next. Walked him on 5 pitches. And it's 1-on-1 out for the Giants.
Well, the sinker works against Posey. You've seen the success that Blake Trinan's had against him the last couple of nights, throwing that turbo sinker on his hands. And Roark's got a good one working here tonight. See if he tries it here on him early. Looks like they're going away.
That's a pitch Buster pretty well. He had hits his first 2 times up on Thursday. 0 for 8 since. Tonight, 2 ground balls to Escobar.
Well, they've tried him away early with the slider both times. That's what Blake Trinan did, and then came in off of that slider. And first pitch slider, looks like, well, Lobaton might be setting up in there, or it could be a deke.
Posey 2 for 5 against Tanner. And then another slider outside. 87-2-0. Brandon Belt 7 of 9 stealing bases.
He's the kind of guy who'll steal base if you don't pay attention to him. So those throwovers, you're good. Now you work on the hitter.
Big swing by Posey. He fouled it straight back.
A nice play by an older gentleman right in front of us with a glove. Caught it on the ricochet off the facade. Great play.
2-1 pitch. Lobaton on the outside edge. And that ball is rocked into the alley. That's going to roll 410 feet. Brandon Belt will score. And Buster Posey makes it 7-2. The Nats have walked 3 batters tonight. They've all scored.
Well, the one thing you don't want to let Buster Posey do is get extended. Anything middle away, he likes to go into triples alley, or he even has opposite field pop. He'll pull off speed for home runs, but sometimes has trouble when he's leaning out over the plate getting that sinker. That ball was out over, and he scorched it in the gap.
7-2 Giants. Hunter Pence now. He's 0 for 2. Good slider, outside edge. Another one, perfect.
That one might have been outside. Good frame by Lobaton, got the call. Hunter Pence didn't like it. What do you see? Is it outside? Yeah, both of them really are. Good frame.
One ball and 2 strikes. And that fastball will move Hunter Pence back. That's a good-looking slider. Ends up way outside. 4th K. 4-10 on Roark, 2 outs here in the 5th.
It was a smart pitch because Corey Blazer already established he was going to go outside with the slider off the plate, so as a hitter you have to protect. And Roark used the fact that he knew he got a break on maybe the 2nd strike and expanded the zone. Pence had to swing because of the strike zone.
Brandon Crawford, RBI hit last time that knocked out Gio. They're going to walk him and pitch to Kelby Tomlinson, the rookie. Just put runners at first and second with 2 outs. Tomlinson was the first batter Roark faced. Back in the 3rd, he got him on the good play, the good running play and throw by Ian Desmond.
Second triple in less than 20 at-bats.
Maybe that's how you get called up by the Giants if you got a good stroke to right center.
Yeah.
That might be something that separates certain hitters from others in their organization.
Maybe.
Knowing how the big league ballpark is configured. I mean, Buster just put on a clinic, and Tomlinson's done it a couple of times. Tomlinson, another major leaguer who's come out of JUCO ball. A couple of years at Seward County in Kansas. And then he played 1 year at Texas Tech. And he rips that ball right on the left field line. Posey will score. Crawford will score. And it's 9-2.
Rookie having a good night for the Giants. Got a fastball in and just turned and burned. Just fair hooking down the corner. Not a whole lot you can do about it if you're Jason Worth or the Nats. And this one just got maybe out of reach. Down by 7 now. Going to be much tougher.
Hector Sanchez, the catcher. Giants have the second highest team batting average in baseball. Came in at 271. Tigers at 272. I mean, these guys just put the bat on the ball.
I think that intentional walk is something that Matt Williams thought of when he looked at the lineup card today. You have a youngster that's right-handed hitting behind Brandon Crawford, who has 19 home runs and 71 RBIs, that you're going to walk Crawford any chance you get tonight if you have a right-hander facing him with the right-hander on deck. That's something that managers go over before the baseball game. If that situation occurs, this is what I'm going to do. And it was the right move. It just didn't pay off.
On a ball away. Escobar cuts it off, and that's it. But the Giants put 3 more on the board. The Nats, with 4 innings left, have a long climb ahead.
Done in a major way, yo. This one is a home run. We in the major leagues. I get the job done in a major way, yo. This one is a home run. It's my time to shine. Been waiting all night. They pitching strong, but he threw it just right.
Top of the 6th inning here at AT Park, where they have another sellout tonight. 41,916. They're 385th in a row. Clint Robinson 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a base on balls. Peavy misses with 87.
Well, Jake Peavy's just going to start mixing it up, hitting corners. Not a whole lot to worry about with a 7-run lead, so veteran pitchers like this know what to do.
Nats box. Bryce Harper, 2-out walk first inning. Escobar the double over Hunter Pence, and then the Ian Desmond, and I think I saw online it was 477 feet with the Nats up 2-0.
It was.
Robinson will get jammed on that one, and out to Tomlinson it goes for the first out.
Well, how about we show it to you with Geico highlights? 477-foot tater by Ian Desmond. Oh my goodness! I mean, just a cement mixer slider from Jake Peavy that went where you usually don't see him hit here at AT&T Park. And Bryce Harper's reaction. You'll see that everywhere on the highlights tonight. Macaulay Culkin. I think I saw 113 online for the hit speed too.
Wow. Well, Desmond hits one about 97 or 98 the other way. And don't forget, he hit a line drive to the feet of Brandon Belt in his second at bat that ended up being an error. So Ian Desmond gashing the ball all over AT&T Park tonight. So Worth is next. He's 1 for 2.
Just give the hit speed like you're the human hit speed guy. Okay.
You can never have too much information in the broadcast.
No, you can never guess too much either.
I guess on a lower percentage of hits I see than you did in your at bats during your big league career. I would assume.
I never guessed.
You guys are all guessing.
I never guessed my hit speed.
Nobody talked about hit speed.
I'm glad you're not a cop. You were going way too fast. Let me make something up. You were going 77, and you're gonna get a ticket. How do you know? I don't. I'm just guessing. 77.
Close enough. There's Felipe Rivero again. He had to come out and get a couple of innings here. A couple of hitters on Thursday night. So here's Jason Worth. 2 balls, no strikes. Takes the fastball up, 3-0. That 3-run Giants fifth changes the game in the respect that you need 2 big innings to get back into the game, unless it's an amazing inning, rather than just one like the Nats almost pulled off last night.
That was the 3-0 up by 7 automatic strike.
Yeah.
And Matt Williams is fuming.
Now that is ball 4. 2 on, 1 out. Lobato next. Peavy, his 3rd walk of the night. He's paid for 1 of them. Harper in the first. We'll see what Matt does in terms of who comes out on deck. Tanner Roark's thrown 45 pitches in 2 1/3. Brian Zimmerman. Lobaton, and that was just to the foul side of the bag.
98.5 miles an hour on the foul ball.
We don't count fouls.
Guessing, just guessing.
Peavy at 76 pitches with 1 out in the 6th. Even when the Nats were clubbing him around a bit in the early innings, things were happening quickly. So he doesn't waste any time. He goes after guys, and good or bad, they seem to happen fast when he's pitching. 141 game winner, Peavy, 116 losses. Two and 1. Happy Sunday morning to you. We wish we had better news. Stick with us. The Nats are trying to make some things happen here in the top of the 6th inning with 2 runners aboard. 3rd game of the 4-game set Sunday afternoon. Joe Ross and Madison Bumgarner.
Wind blowing straight out to right field. Hard too.
Lobatone, 3 homers this year. .14 in his big league career. And that's outside. Sanchez tried to frame it. 3-1.
The last thing Jake Beebe wants to do is start walking guys with a 7-run lead. I don't think Bruce Bochy would be real happy about that. He just wants his pitcher to throw strikes and let his defense work.
Lobatone gets one in the air out to deep right center. Blanco going back, can't get it. Ball hits the wall, stays in play. Worth is right behind Desmond. Here they both come, and they're both safe. And it's 9-4.
Well, I just said the wind's blowing out to right, and Jose Lobatone got it up in the jet stream big time. And there is a stiff breeze blowing out to right center, and maybe earlier in this game, Blanco catches it because the wind wasn't blowing. And it's picked up. You always have to be aware of the flags here. They'll change, and Lobatone gives it a ride. Let's listen. Home run a lot of ballparks, too, by the way. Good at-bat by Jose Lobatone. And Bob Henley really didn't have a choice except for to send both of them because Jason Worth was tailgating. A little NASCAR racing. We haven't seen that in a while. The 20 car and the 28 car.
Well, Dave Righetti wasting time for the bullpen here. Let's see how quickly Corey Blazer comes out to send him back. And the Giants with their bullpen, right-hander George Cantos.
That's why you're just hoping to keep it within reach. You knew the Giants scored a lot of runs early, but that the Nats had a chance to jump back into this, and they're still grinding.
Ryan Zimmerman career against Jake Peavy, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. Ryan's had a rough series though here, 0 for 8, 6 strikeouts. And the Nats looking for some contact here. Still only 1 out in the 6th inning. And Peavy runs the 91 back to the outer half. This is where Ryan has to really protect that outer edge. 0-2. Now the right-handers go slider away. There's a look at the infield with Jose Lobatone at second base after driving in his 12th and 13th runs of the year. Long pauses here. He gave him a fastball, and it's a big hop for Brandon Crawford. Lobatone stays. It's 2 down. Top of the order, Michael A. Taylor.
Was that a Sunday hop for Brandon Crawford on Saturday?
No, it's Sunday somewhere.
That's right, Sunday back home. That's the definition of a Sunday hop. A guy hits you a screamer on the ground. The last hop is a nice big one. Right into your glove.
Dodgers 8, Reds 3 final. This is the last game to be decided. And Taylor is 1 for 3 with a bunt base hit. He got a center cut breaking ball there. He's going to make this a 9-5 game. Michael's thinking 3 until they can stop him. And he's heading for third base. Now they airmail the throw. And the Nats get a bad break as it hits right at the dugout and stays in play. Taylor, second triple of the year. It's a 9-5 ball game.
Hold on. Hold on.
Boy, the Nats were one bad hop away from that thing going into the seats.
This ball scorched in the gap. Watch the location. Just a hanger from Jake Peavy. Michael Taylor all over it. And instead of just being satisfied with a 2-out double and an RBI, Michael Taylor getting it. Watch him low fly around second base. This is where he just turns on the jets and is eating up ground. Ball almost went in the Giants' dugout. Watch out, Bob Henley. Brandon Crawford just airmails this one. And this game just got good.
Jake Peavy gets 9 runs with which to work, and he can't get out of the 6th inning. Double switch from Bruce Bochy coming. The Nats back in it? We'll see. Be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Well, the Nats are battling back here. We told you it would take 2 big innings to get back in the game, but if you have that one unbelievable frame, who knows? A-Ray Adrianza will bat 9th on the double switch and play second base. Pitcher batting 7th for the Giants, and that's George Contos, who came on last night in the 6th inning and pitched 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout. He got Harper and Zimmerman.
Yeah, fastball, slider, and he'll cut the fastball as well. So fastball 91, cutter 88, slider 84. Stingy with the opponent's average at 216. Anthony Rendon trying to make this a 3-run game.
Anthony Rendon 0 for 1 career against him. Big run at third base. 2 outs. So 3 hits, a walk in the inning. 3 runs in. Rendon 0 for 3, and in this series, nothing for 8.
It all started with you making up random hit speeds. There you go, partner.
Yeah.
Just guessing.
Rally imagination.
Yeah. Just keep it up.
Ian Desmond got this started with an opposite field single. And a good stop by Hector Sanchez on that hard breaking ball. Counts even, 1-1.
Well, you know, we talked about it when Gio was out there in that big 3rd inning. The Giants had damage control. You had a feeling the Nats were going to have some good at-bats against Jake Peavy the way it was shaping up. Kind of got away from him. And then the 3 that Tanner Roark gave up You just had a feeling the Nats were not done with Peavy.
Busted bat, but it's hanging up, and Brandon Belt will get there. So the Nats pick up 3. They've made it interesting, and the road to the comeback has started.
Of Arlington, Mercedes-Benz of Alexandria. Good night to hit here at AT Park. 14 runs scored in this one as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 16 hits. Michael Taylor having a nice night. Ian Desmond hit a 477-foot home run, and Matt Duffy, 7 RBI, 3 runs this series. Also made a few errors at third.
And Felipe Rivero reappears. He pitched 2/3 of an inning here on Thursday night. Gave up a run on a hit. It was because of a walk to Gregor Blanco, who stole second, and Brandon Belt drove him home. So he'll face Adrianza, Blanco, and Duffy here. Bottom 6 for the Giants, who aren't breathing as easily as they were. And evidently Kansas City's 9-4 win came crashing down out there on the out-of-town scoreboard.
But they talk about putting up crooked numbers. That was literally a crooked number. You know, there's a bar behind those archways now they put out there. It's like one of the exclusive bars. It's called the Gotham Club, right underneath the archways, right behind the out-of-town scoreboard. So people are actually in a bar looking at the game through those archways. Look at that. Maybe that's why that number's crooked.
Looks like Alcatraz out there.
That would be a cool place to watch the game, behind the out-of-town scoreboard. Look at that. And it's one of the tougher tickets to get up, from what I understand. It's new here at AT Park. Pretty cool.
They've done a good job of squeezing almost 42,000 people into this place.
Yeah.
Footprint as small as any ballpark in baseball, really fitting into the surrounding neighborhood. High fly ball, Michael A. Taylor. Off the bat of A-Ray Adrianza for the first out. 6th inning. Giants box. 2 big innings. Jake Peavy walked and scored. That's why he's still on there. But they got RBIs in that third by Blanco with the bases loaded. And then the big blow, Matt Duffy cleared the bases with a double. Belt drove him in. And then Crawford drove in Belt later in the inning, and that finished Gio Gonzalez. And then Kelby Tomlinson, after a Posey RBI double, drove in 2 with the double in the 5th. And that really hurt against Tanner Roark. Rivero and Blanco. 2 nights ago, this matchup resulted in a base on balls, and that's up and in. Blanco 1 for 3 tonight. 4 for 11 in the series with 3 batted in. And as the leadoff guy, he has scored 5 runs.
I think Nicole Bryce Harper hits a home run, puts his bat down, and does the face he did in the dugout tonight, right before he starts his home run shot. I mean, it's something new. Everybody's coming up with new celebrations. Why not do that one?
Way up and in. Just Jeremy Affeld's warming up. Bryce may not see anything but left-handed pitchers the rest of the night. So we'll see. Took him a while to get number 30, and hopefully on the road to 40 quickly. Swinging the bat great. 2 hard line drives tonight. Up the middle. Desmond can't get it. And Gregor Blanco has another multi-hit game in this series. He had 3 last night, a triple and a walk on Thursday, and he and Desmond trying to get up.
Might have knocked the wind out of him. He dove hard for this ball, and he landed right on his belly. Good effort by Ian Desmond. Playing hard as usual. Pretty good swing by Blanco. A little inside out piece. Watch Desmond land. Boom. Hit hard. I don't think he knocked the wind out of him. Might have been a different spot.
Here's Matt Duffy. Hit a ground ball to Ian Desmond against Rivero 2 nights ago. Runner going. Pitch low and inside. Lobaton. Tough one to handle, and Blanco steals his 11th of the year.
Well, that was just a guess and go by Blanco. He went first move. As soon as Rivero picked up his right foot, he was off to the races, and Lobaton tried to rush the throw, but I don't think he had a chance.
Matt Duffy 1 for 3. 3-run double. He has driven in 7 runs on 5 hits against the Nats in this series. And
Bryce got a Nats hat from one of the fans.
Come to the ball game Friday night, you'll get one. 1-0 to Duffy. To short in front of the runner, so Blanco has to retreat. Desmond throws out Matt Duffy, 2 outs.
Follow the Nats wherever you are with MLB.com app, the #1 app for live baseball. That bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcasts, and more. Get MLB.com app for your smartphone or tablet.
Brandon Belt 1 for 2, RBI single, a walk, 2 runs scored. And he fought that ball off to drop a single into left field Thursday night to bring in a run against Felipe. That was a huge add-on run for the Giants in their 3-1 win. To left center will bring in another run. 10-5 San Francisco. And they're just not missing much of anything tonight.
No, it's been the lefties who really haven't hit Felipe Rivero at all this year that have done the damage here in the 6th. Base hit by Blanco, stolen base. Brandon Belt goes shopping at the gap, 10-5.
Now Rivero and Buster Posey. He goes up hacking. Ian Desmond takes care of that. Another lightning quick strike by the Giants. Single, double, 10-5.
This season, Lexus, the pursuit of perfection. Remember last night? You remember Bryce Harper, and you remember him hitting his 30th home run. A little run back fastball for Matt Cain, belt tie right down the middle. And the big boys like Bryce don't miss those, folks.
Wow. You put that one together with the one Desmond hit tonight. Serious footage. So we're going to the top of the 7th at AT&T Park. Something on the field out in right center. Gregor Blanco has to retrieve it.
There's a baseball. Definitely not a beach ball. They just don't allow those here. Although today was a beach day. Unseasonably warm weather here in San Francisco the whole series.
Yeah, I don't ever remember us being this warm in San Fran in the summer. It's been beautiful.
It's been amazing.
Harper, walk, run, hard line drive out to right, hard base hit to right. And Contos turns one over, misses with the changeup, 84.
Bryce puzzled look. He thought he was on that changeup. Wants a fastball up and in.
Good take, 2-1.
7 the other way. That's pretty impressive. 14 to the pull side, 9 straight away.
And a breaking ball, and Bryce hammers his leg with that one.
Well, there's foul balls off your leg and your foot, and there's ones that you hit right on the barrel. And you hit them as hard as you can off your foot, and that's where you start to get nervous if you're Matt Williams.
Steve Gobert coming out.
And he hit that one square.
Well, and this is harder than most swings.
And you just hope he's okay. And you're right. Let's see it again. A little slider chasing him down and in, and it right off the barrel, off his back leg. Wow, that is something you don't see very often. Off his back leg.
And pitchers have been known to throw an identical pitch on the next one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They'll go breaking ball down, no swing.
Well, that's his left knee, and that's the one that's been bothering him. I don't know if that ball hit him on the knee, but that's the area that if it's sore and he had a foul ball off it, it's the last place you'd ever think a left-handed hitter would hit a foul ball off his back knee. Might have hit a little below it, but still, that whole area is sore.
Harper hits one out to center. Going back, Blanco. 1 out, 7th inning.
I watched him kind of hobble to first after he hit this ball. But you know what? Down by 5 runs, he ran as hard as he could. He didn't even have to run that hard after he fouled that ball off his knee.
Escobar and Robinson, the next 2. You know, Escobar, opposite field double, first inning. 2 for 11 in the series with 2 RBIs. Leadoff home run in game 1, first pitch. Anacontos breaking ball, fly ball center. Blanco again. Clint Robinson 0 for 2 with the base on balls. Matt Williams' team enough offense last night and tonight to win a ball game. 5 runs on 7 hits last night, lost 8-5. 5 runs, 9 hits tonight, trailing 10-5. Fastball, they want it up, way up there, ball 1.
But you would have thought early in the season, if your offense could get this staff 5 runs, that you'd win a lot of ball games.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're going through a rough patch as a ball club, it's usually a combination platter. It's not just one thing missing. Especially when you're losing to teams that you should be beating. And every team goes through this. It's more than one thing. It's not just pitching. It's not just hitting. It's not just defense. It's a lot of different things going on. And if you had the recipe and you knew how to change it, you'd have done it a long time ago, right?
The one comment I get most from our fans is it's odd that this has happened once 3 key players came back. You know, baseball is just so hard to figure out.
Well,
sometimes.
It's not a video game, and these 3 players need a little bit of time to figure it out. And, you know, I guess that's the question. Do you have time at this point in the season?
Yeah, it's a good question.
You jump into that fast lane doing 45 miles an hour, you're going to get run over. And this league is moving fast this time of year. When you've missed a lot of games due to injury or whatever, I'm telling you, the pace of play right now and everybody's game is moving at top speed. And if you're just jumping in, I don't care who you are, how good you are, it's hard.
Robinson to left. Brandon Belt a long way to go. 3 fly balls, the Nats are done, and we arrive at the Hyundai 7th inning stretch. Popcorn still hot in San Francisco. So are the Giants.
Right, and if you missed it earlier, Steve McCatty's simple trip to the mound to calm down Gio Gonzalez. Corey Blazer comes out. They have a few words. McCatty says, "What are you talking about?" They keep talking, and Corey Blazer gives him the heave-ho. And then Matt Duffy with the bases loaded. Watch him just sit on that curveball. Boy, he let that get deep, almost like he knew it was coming. And a bases clearing double for the Giants rookie. RBIs number 56, 57, and 58. Big blow in the Giants' 6-run third.
Yeah, that turned a 2-1 lead into a 4-2 deficit. Bryce Harper's out of the game. Tyler Moore is in left field, batting in Bryce's spot, and Jason Worth moves over to right here in the 7th. Felipe Rivero, 13 pitches, 7 strikes, giving up a run last inning. Pence, Crawford, and the pitcher's spot for San Francisco. Up the middle to his right, Rendon. Sharply hit ball. Hunter Pence 0 for 4.
Well, you just hope Bryce Harper's okay. I mean, obvious statement of the year, but I think he just hit that thing off a spot that's already barking. When you square up a ball off your front shin and it's going forward or your foot, that's when you really worry about broken bones. But off the backside, that hit him square, but I think it hit him in the area where, you know, he missed that game because he was diving around in Dodger Stadium, made that play at home on the warning track, and that was in the same area, wasn't it? Close by, at least?
Yeah, yeah. Brandon Crawford, 1 for 2 RBI single. Intentional walk, a run scored.
He's like the one guy that this rough patch hasn't phased a bit. His game has actually stepped up a level while the offense has been scuffling and while the ball club has been scuffling. They can't lose him.
One ball, 2 strikes. Right side, Robinson deflects, Rendon, bare hand, and it's out at first. Unbelievable. How did Rivero be anywhere near the bag getting that throw, and how did Rendon even get it there?
Oh my goodness. One of the most incredible plays you'll ever see. Watch this. Robinson with a good effort. He deflects it to Rendon. He goes jump to the bare hand, throws it to nowhere. And Felipe Rivero, is outstretched as you can possibly be, keeps a foot on the bag. From our angle, when Rendon threw that, there was nobody there. And Rivero, all in one motion, catches it, foot on the bag. You're going to see this play 100 times in the next month. That was fantastic. Wow.
I don't know that I've ever written down 3 stars for each guy on one play.
Yeah.
I mean, Robinson dove, Rendon barehand, Rivero unbelievable athletic ability. Justin Maxwell hits now with 2 outs. That is one for the ages.
That's just pure athleticism on everybody's part. Obviously, you can't practice that.
You can't?
Not like that. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
And Felipe Rivero slowed down a bit because he didn't think Rendon was going to catch it. Then he had to speed up once he saw Rendon jumping barehanded, and that's why he was late. But with his long limbs and his athleticism, he made a great play.
Hot shot to left. Tyler Moore will take it on a hop and field it cleanly, and a base hit for Justin Maxwell. His second hit of this series, 2 for 8. Hector Sanchez, the catcher, next.
And Rendon did the right thing. As a second baseman, when you feel the ball and the pitcher's covering, you don't pick up the pitcher, because if you throw it to him, it's behind him. So what you do is you just throw it to the base, and he's supposed to be there. And if he's not there, it's not your problem.
Fastball sizzles to the outside edge. You're down by 5 runs, and you just saw a play that thrills you beyond belief. Now that one gets away. Maxwell to second base. On a wild pitch.
That's when you usually see Jose Lobaton go to a couple of knees and block. Tried to glove that one, didn't work.
Hector Sanchez 0 for 2 with the base on balls. A costly walk back in the 3rd. And Rivero misses low, 2-1. Teppered is short. Ian Desmond gets a nice Sunday morning hop. And the 7th inning is over. Giants strand their 4th runner of the night. They have played at 10. Little back to the future here on the Bay. How about that?
Uggla only played 4 games for the Giants last year after being released by the Braves, but he still got presented a pretty cool thing yesterday here at AT&T Park by Giants GM Bobby Evans. Uggla got a World Series ring from that 2014 team. He said Bobby presented it to him and he immediately got chills. That's my finger right there sporting Uggla's ring. Uggla said it's super cool that the Giants still presented him with the ring even though he wasn't exactly a major contributor on last year's team. And it was cool, guys, seeing everyone come up to him in the clubhouse and take a look at the ring. They wanted to hold it. They wanted to talk about it. They were talking about how cool it was. So Dan Uggla, a veteran guy who's bounced around a little bit these last couple of years, got himself a World Series ring presented to him yesterday by the Giants.
And maybe that's a little justice for all the years you work your tail off and you come close and you just don't get there. Very nice. You saw Juan Perez playing left field. He's batting third. And into the ballgame, Yusmeiro Petit, the man who had the incredible batters retired streak going into the playoffs last year. Coons.com. When you're talking Cards, you're talking Coons, and that's Dan with our sideline report.
It was a good report and a beautiful ring, but what I took out of that is Dan's got really short, stubby fingers. He said those were his fingers, right?
Yeah.
Weird.
1 ball, 1 strike. Ian Desmond against Petit. Career 0 for 3.
Small hands smell like cabbage.
Ian's had a good night. Hit the ball hard 3 times. 2 for 3. Homer. Single. 2 runs scored. Hits another one hard. Foul into the right field corner.
Nationals season plan holders can renew their plans for the 2016 season. Visit nationals.com/renew for all your renewal and postseason ticket details.
And Petit had Desmond ending up with a one-handed swing on a good breaking ball down and away. Nationals are down to their final 5 outs. Drew Storen has not pitched in this series. Jason Worth and Lobaton, the next 2 here in the top of the 8th. And then Drew against 9, 1, and 2 in the bottom of the inning. Fastball perfectly placed, 85 actually, to the outside edge. Didn't have a lot of movement to it. Perfect location.
I don't think Jason thought it was a perfect location.
It's been floating around a little bit tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Slider out there.
And it's been for both teams, and it has nothing to do with the score tonight. But Hunter Pence, you remember, had a little talk with Corey Blazer on a few sliders down the way that we showed were off on pitch track. And yeah, maybe you're right, Carp. That was a perfect pitch according to pitch track.
Mercedes-Benz showing us. Worth 1 for 2. Opposite field single, a walk and a run. And he was reaching on that one. This ball coming down right near the mound. And in front of it, Matt Duffy takes control. 2 outs.
I mean, how do you turn this thing around? That's what everyone's asking me, Carp. And I guess it's the $1 million question. And when you talk about where these guys have been and what they've accomplished, it's just, as a player and an athlete, you got to dig down deep inside and figure it out. And there's no recipe for the solution. There's no answer to the question, but it's each and every single guy in that clubhouse has to look in the mirror and say, what can I do today to help my ball club win a game? And you win a few and you start feeling good about yourself. You start playing some music after the game. Everyone starts having fun again. But when you're going through a rough patch, there's no real one set way to fix it other than each and every guy has to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing on the field? What am I doing in the clubhouse? What can I do better to help this team win? And if everybody approaches it from that standpoint, now you got a chance. But when you're losing, what invariably happens on ball clubs is you get one fraction of the team saying, well, we're not doing this well. And the other group of guys is saying, we're not doing this well. And if you start pointing fingers, then it's going to get weird. And I don't know if that's happening yet. I don't think it has. But if everyone starts looking at everybody else and not themselves, now you're in trouble, big trouble.
Yeah.
If you start saying, well, he's not doing this and he's not doing that, it comes down to the point where, do you want it? Do you want to win a division? Do you want to win a championship? And looking at yourself and not worrying about 24 other guys or 2 or 3 other guys, and worry about you. It's the only way you turn it around. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to be not good.
No swing, says Chris Guccione. Danny Espinosa on deck here in the 8th if Lobaton can keep the inning going.
And it's like when people ask you, what's the mood in the clubhouse? I don't know. There's 25 guys with 25 different moods. But that's when it comes down to look at yourself in the mirror and you figure out what you have to do tomorrow or even today.
Nats will need an amazing comeback tonight. If they don't, it'll be a 1-5 road trip, and you're staring at Madison Bumgarner tomorrow. Lobaton can't get the breaking ball. He'll be tagged out. And the Nats are gone in the 8th inning without a hit since the 6th when Taylor tripled. 10-5 Giants. Above and beyond. 24 Willie Mays Way here in San Francisco. Beautiful night. Yeah, palm trees in Northern California. Nats fans not giving up yet.
We're still trying to figure out a way. Now it's time for Toyota Keys for Kids. Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season.
So Drew Storen, now that he's not the closer, these situations come up once in a while when a lot of other guys in the bullpen have worked in a series You haven't. And coming into a ball game down by 5 runs.
Yeah, 47th appearance for Drew Storn. The ERA at 3.07 and trying to get some work in. He's had a rough go lately after an amazing season up to that point. As good as he's ever been.
Ray Adrianza leads off, bottom of the 8th. Facing Drew for the first time. Came in on a double switch, hit a fly ball to Michael A. Taylor. First time up. And Drew misses with the fastball low, 2-0.
You know,
that's high in the air, well out of play.
One of the most out-of-the-box things I've ever seen to turn something around was Jason Giambi in Oakland. And we had lost a tough game, and we were scuffling at the time. And he comes into the clubhouse. I think we lost 3-2. He comes into the clubhouse after the game, and he turns the music on in the loss, which you never do in baseball. And he looked around at everybody and said, "Hey, we played hard tonight. We just didn't win. I'm sick of seeing everybody hang their heads. We're playing music." And he did. And it worked, and we went on a run after that. I'm not saying the Nats should do that, but you know, you come into that clubhouse and it's quiet. It's just like when you're struggling as a hitter and you come into the bench and everyone's quiet. You keep going 0 for 3, 0 for 4, and there's that awkward silence. And we kind of looked at him like, all right. And we forgot about that game within a couple of minutes, and we weren't hanging our heads in our locker for 15 minutes before we talked to the media that night. And then that ball club went on a serious tear right after that.
Gregor Blanco 2 for 4. 0 for 1 career against Drew Storn. Ball 2. Blanco's had a good series, 5 for 10, 3 RBIs, 6 runs scored, doing what a leadoff guy should. This one out to center, not hit that well, so it drops, and a 3-hit night for Gregor Blanco.
But Peanuts are at the Fitz. Celebrate the end of an amazing summer at the Fitz. For all your tickets and information, go to PotomacNationals.com.
Matt Duffy 1 for 4. The big blow of the game, the 3-run double, put the Giants up 4-2. That ball hit hard. Left center. Base of the wall. Blanco coming around third. The Giants will have 11 on the board as this rookie continues to impress.
RBI number 59 for Duffy. And his 4th of the night.
So the Nats have given up 19 runs in games 2 and 3 of this series on 25 hits. Juan Perez, the hitter here, came into play left field, top of this inning. And a breaking ball just kind of hits off the bottom of the barrel. It's well played by Rendon. But the ball pops up out of the mitt of Clint Robinson. Clint Robinson's 5th error of the year. The Nats' first of this series. Now Buster Posey. 1 for 3 career against Drew Storen. Posey tonight 1 for 4. Opposite field double. Out to that deep gap 2 at bats ago. And a breaking ball that was sitting up. He fouled it straight back. Pretty good run and sink on that 94. And the foul ball makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I mean, you're wondering how this whole 8-inning thing is affecting Drew Storen. You remember when they first got Papelbon, he was coming out and the slider command was amazing. He was 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2-3, and then 5 times like that. Then all of a sudden, a hiccup or 2, and just in a different world all of a sudden, you feel like, right?
Yeah, in those first 5 appearances, the only base runner against Drew is a walk. 15 of 16 retired. I think I remember the count. It was like 39 pitches, 37 strikes in those 5 outings, and now something's gone awry big time. Two-2 pitch. And that ball slammed off what sounded like the helmet of Jose Lobaton.
Matt got him square too, boy. And he is taking inventory. And Buster Posey knows the feeling, so he's going to step out and give Lobaton some time, and he says he's okay. Listen to this.
Oh.
Wow. If you put headphones on and turned it as loud as you could and then had that replay, that's exactly what he heard.
Fastball up, and the count goes to 3-2.
Still feeling it. Ears probably ringing.
And a slider hammered into left. Here comes another run. Scoring from third is Duffy, and the Giants lead 12-5. Buster Posey, 2 RBI night. He has 78.
Matt Williams coming out to talk to Drew Storen. Check this out. Steve McCaddy got thrown out of the game. Matt Williams is going to talk to Drew. Is he going to go? I don't think the bullpen's ready yet.
Blake Trinan, because of the error, still only 1 out here in the 8th inning. Hunter Pence will be next.
I don't think Drew Storen was excited about that.
Hunter Pence 0 for 4. That's a good heater. Running its way back to the outside edge. Hunter Pence 1 for 5 career with an RBI against Drew Storen. Good slider, boy. He buckled him on that one.
I think more than buckled. Hunter Pence was falling back into his own dugout. You usually don't see good hitters do this. Watch Hunter Pence.
Nissan with a big-time shift of gears right there on the pitch track. Wow, 96, about 7 feet tall, 2 outs.
You know what's weird about that swing? He hit a home run off Tyler Clippard last year at Nats Park on a pitch just like this, if I'm not mistaken. He got on top of it. He hit it out to right center. So if you're sitting at home going, what is he doing? Well, he's hit that pitch before. I think it was about that high.
There's Brandon Crawford. Oh for 2 career against Drew, and that's a little bit outside. Drew has suddenly found his slider. It looks pretty wicked. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Tell you what, one thing about the Giants, they don't get cheated. I mean, all their hitters come up and they're swinging from their heels. I think Brandon Belt, one of them, Buster Posey, one of them, and Brandon Crawford may swing harder than all of them combined. He does not get cheated, and he's got popped to all fields.
I talked about the number of hits. 12 runs on 13 hits tonight. They've done all this without hitting a ball out of the park.
I think it was Jordan Zimmerman that Pence hit that home run off of eye high. Day game at Nats Park last year. But even that swing with 2 strikes.
Long look at the runner. Fastball up and away, and Brandon Crawford continues to hammer away. Two aboard, 2 in. 8th inning. Got him up in the zone. Drew Storen finishes off the inning with 2 strikeouts. The Nats need a huge number. They're down 7, 3 outs to go.
7 for 18. Michael Taylor having a nice night for the Nats. Bryce Harper doing his thing. A 12-5 ball game. But we got to show you what happened to Bryce Harper in the 7th inning. Remember, his left knee is the bad one, right? Didn't hit it off his knee, but in the vicinity, off his shin below the knee. And he hit it hard, and he went down, and then he flew out after he was looked at. And then he just goes straight down the tunnel, takes his helmet off, drops his batting gloves, walks into the tunnel, and everybody hoping he's okay.
Danny Espinosa, bottom of the 9th inning. And Yusmeiro Petit out there to finish this off for the Giants, if he can. Espinosa launches one to right field. Hunter Pence watching it, and Danny's hit another home run here in San Francisco. Got the Nats on the road back with a 5th inning solo last night. Two for 6 in the series, 2 home runs.
But he just keeps doing whatever. I mean, put him at any position, he makes the play. Start him and he ignites your ball club. Bring him off the bench and he hits a homer. 12th of the year for Espinosa. And he has had some kind of year for Matt Williams and is really making a case that he should play more.
Danny's first pinch hit homer this year, the Nats' 3rd. Scored 12-6, top of the order, Taylor. And Michael A. will sky one a mile up there to left. Juan Perez coming under it. Tomorrow it's the closer of the season series. Madison Bumgarner, 13-6 career against the Nats regular season play. 2-4 with a 3.42 ERA. Nats hit him hard in D.C. Joe Ross, right-handers, hitting 170 against him. 3-4 record, but a solid 3.44 ERA. He'll have to be the boss tomorrow to get the Nats a win. We'll get you going. Nats Extra, Masson 2 at 3:30. Anthony Rendon 0 for 4, having a rough series. No hits and 9 at bats.
First career pinch hit home run for Espinosa.
Good for him.
Absolutely.
Done everything else. Why not drop into that category? 1 ball, 1 strike. Danny's dad, uncle, and friends are here.
Well,
1 ball, 2 strikes.
The good thing is he hit a home run. And I don't know if it's a good thing that he might get 4 off Madison Bumgarner tomorrow, but he doesn't care.
Well, he can hit right-handed.
He can. You'd think he might be in there, but you never know. See what happens.
And Rendon hits one high in the air. Deep left center. Perez, plenty of room. 2 down. Another, well, actually, first at bat tonight for Tyler Moore came in after Bryce got hurt to play left field in the 7th inning, shifting Jason Worth to right. Johnny and Ray next. Nats Extra postgame. Tyler Moore 2 for 2 with a double, career against Yusmeiro Petit with 3 RBIs. Fastball away. This will do it. And the Giants have taken the first 3 games of this series, and they've really hit the Nats hard. The last 2 nights, 12-6 final. So the Nationals producing 11 runs on Friday and Saturday, and now trying to avoid a sweep on Sunday.